your voices lent to me that made it possible for me to stand those 13 hours. That's what we are fighting for now. A Texas where every woman is able to overcome her unique challenges because she had the same choices and the same chances that I had.
Well, that was Texas State Senator Wendy Davis addressing a crowd of supporters outside the state capitol on Monday. Ms. Davis got national attention after leading a 13-hour filibuster against a bill that would put new restrictions on late-term abortions. That bill has since moved ahead in the Texas legislature and is now slated for a vote next week, despite Ms. Davis's efforts. But while Democrats and others continue to celebrate Davis and her filibuster, another Texas state senator and doctor is fighting for the public to hear the other side of the story. She's so passionate about this bill that she showed up to a rally in her scrubs to make her point. Listen.
Those that oppose the bill love the predatory abortion industry more than the health of a woman or the life of a baby. You hear the rhetoric about the government doesn't need to be in this. I am thankful I am a voice within the government to stand for life and to stand with you.
Joining me now, Dr. Donna Campbell, a Republican state senator in Texas and supporter of the Texas bill that would place those restrictions on late-term abortion. Senator, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Senator, Doctor, I don't know, there's so many to choose from in your titles. But I want to ask you about this because we heard from Wendy Davis and her supporters and so many who feel as she does that what they want is for the government, and you referenced it in your remarks, to keep its hands off of their bodies. And they view this as an issue of women's rights and women's health. Your thoughts on that?
First of all, that she does not speak to the voice of the majority of women and majority of Texans. Texans and Texas families are pro-life. You know, they don't want the government involved when it comes to the actual procedure, yet they sure want government dollars to support the procedure. And when we simply ask that the same standards be brought up for abortion facilities as they are at ambulatory surgery centers, then there seems to be an outcry. I mean, who would really be against bringing the standard of care up for women? That's a safety issue.
Lots of people, as it turns out, not the majority in Texas, certainly, which appears to be on your side, but lots of people are objecting. Because the left, it's not just the left, because the abortion thing it doesn't really divide that way. But in any event, a lot of the people who are, pro-choice, pro-abortion, however you want to describe them, are saying that this would take the abortion clinics in Texas from 42 down to 5. There's a map in the New York Times that shows that. Because they say that even the Planned Parenthoods that are in the state now are not ambulatory surgical centers and therefore would not comply with the new laws and would have to stop performing abortions. Thus, they say access would be severely restricted.
There is nothing in this legislation that will close down an abortion facility. If an abortion facility closes, it's going to be because the millions of dollars that's in the abortion industry is putting profit over a person. We've got over 400 ambulatory surgery centers in the state of Texas. They all have to meet a certain standard to protect the safety of the patient. And as a physician, that's important to me. And to ask them to bring their standards up to the same standards that we ask for any ambulatory surgical procedure is not asking too much.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the lionization we have seen of Senator Wendy Davis in the wake of her filibuster over the past few days by many in the media who, she doesn't really get challenged when she comes on so much as celebrated? And I understand that there's a real issue about women's access to these clinics, but there's also a real issue about whether we should be standing and cheering in any sense somebody who's pushing for the right to abort a fetus up to 26 weeks of pregnancy.
In the state of Texas, you can actually abort up to 28 weeks. But we know that there are babies out there, babies born, that live just a little bit over 5 months. And to think that we don't have an outcry to bring modern-day medicine, cutting-edge technology, up to date at our ambulatory surgery centers, I think brings into question of who are they supporting. a predatory abortion industry, or are they looking at the life of the unborn and protection and health of a woman? We also know that there are increased complications in a woman giving birth or having an abortion late term than earlier in the stages of pregnancy.
No, I mean, obviously, the early-term abortion is far less controversial in America than late-term abortion. I mean, you're talking, you guys want to restrict it to 20 weeks, and after 20 weeks, I mean, you got a baby who's sucking its thumb, you got it kicking in the womb, yawning, stretching. I mean, and the bill that Wendy Davis is objecting to would still allow abortions in the case of the life or the health of the mother, but she wants to be able to abort healthy fetuses up to 26 weeks. I'll give you the last word on it.
That is correct. She does not speak to the majority of Texans. We are pro-life. This bill protects the safety of women and protects the unborn by banning late-term abortions.
Yeah.
That's what the bill does. It's a great bill, and I can't understand why this would be a partisan or a gender issue.
Senator, thank you for being here with your perspective.
Thank you.
Well, we're now hearing from the mother who watched in stunned horror